the different accounting jobs and their roles within a company. Welcome to the first part of the Accounting Smart class, the Accounting 107. In this part, we're going to talk about the different accounting jobs and their role within a company. Jobs and their role within a company. In accounting, you may have different stakeholders involved in it. On one hand, you're going to have an internal team. The first person you're going to need in the implementation is the senior accountant. They are responsible for configuring the accounting application with the basic setup like the chart of accounts, the journals, the taxes, etc. Once this is done and the accounting is live, we'll check with the accounting assistant who is responsible for including the bills, the invoices, the bank statements, the day-to-day activities, basically the operational side of the accounting department. Once this is done, the senior accounting responsibility is to validate, review those encodings and validating those. The goal of the validation is to be able to extract, to generate the legal reports like the balance sheet, the tax report, the balance sheet, the tax report, and so on. On another level, the chief financial officers or the CFO needs reporting extracted from the accounting in order to be able to monitor the financial health of a company and be able to take rational decisions for investments and this kind of topics. On the other hand, you're going to have an external team, other stakeholders like the chartered accountant, who is the person responsible to close the fiscal year, so validate all the journal entries that have been generated through the year and close the fiscal year. In bigger companies, you may have also an auditor who is there to verify, check the accounting and make sure that it's compliant to the accounting basic principles basically. And lastly, you may also encounter the authorities that are there to make a check of the company and make sure that and they're not in a fraud situation. Just so you know, this is just a generic organization setup of the stakeholders around accounting. But of course, based on the company's style, sector, or in a way of working. Some people, for example, the eternal team might be only one person. So it depends on the size, depends of the culture. Don't take this as one example for every company style. Let's see together the different rules more precisely. So as I said, the senior accountant is responsible for the configuration of the accounting, like the chart of accounts, the journals, the taxes. When the accounting is live, they take part of through the process by validating the invoices and the bills, making the payments, generating the legal reports, such as the tax report. Second, the accounting assistant. So once the accounting is live, it's their responsibility to encode the vendor bills, the customer invoices, the bank statements, and also to do payment follow-ups. And those in those actions needs to be done follow-ups. And those in those actions needs to be done fast. And that's a key to it. And that's also something that you need to focus when you're trying to understand their requirements and their needs in the accounting applications, is that they need to spare some time. They need to be as fast as possible. And that's why we're trying to do when we implement the accounting implemented in application. And be able to satisfy their daily activities needs. Next, the chief financial officer. So they aim to monitor the financial health of a company, and the focus on the reporting is about the balance sheet, the profit and loss. But it can also be the analytic accounting, the budget, and the difference between those is that balance sheet and piano concern the legal reporting rather than the analytic accounting and budget and more management reporting, which their goal is completely different, and these information are important because they should be able to quickly and easily extract the data to build some specific indicators and reports. So they need information quickly in order to take good decisions, rational decisions based on the company's financial health. Next, in the external team, we go to the chartered accountant. So it's all mandatory. So it's really important to close the tax period and the fiscal year by reviewing the balance sheet and the profit and loss, making some adjustments if needed, and booking the closing journal entries. also able to provide valuable advice throughout the year to the company when needed. The auditor ensures that the financial statements are truthful and fair, so it needs to reflect the real picture of the company, and based on those statements, an external stakeholder could take a decision which is rational, relevant, and result reasonable so, for example, for credit for investment, acquisition, etc. Lastly, the authority. When the authority has some relevant doubts on the compliance, the authority could perform a deep controlling of the accounting. For example, if the company didn't report revenue or tax reporting inconsistency and pay taxes and contributions, etc. So this is the case where the company is in a fraud situation. The accounting process involves a lot of people, as we said, and we go through different steps, which that need different they have different requirements basically. So the operational, then the validation, the reporting, the closing, checking, and lasting the control, and all this our goal is to ease this process with Odoo with the accounting application, and we see that together